So today on the bench, we have a JCPenney 6247. This is a AM sideband radio. This one is mine. Bought this used, or the person that sold this really wasn't sure about if it worked or not, because they couldn't hear anything out of it, and that's probably because it's a 10-meter radio. And I don't mean it's had a switch mod done to it, and you flip some switches and it goes to extra channels. No, someone actually converted this into a 10-meter radio. It's actually fairly clear to see if you just looked at the radio, because it's got a sticker right on top of it that says 28.314 to 28.754, and there's also some stickers on the top cover here. Channel 8 ends in 402, 502, or 593. So, that would be 28.402, 502, or 593. So, apparently this was actually owned at one point in time, or actually the last person that used it was a ham radio operator, which isn't uncommon to, convert CBs, because they do have very good sensitivity. A lot of times radios like this will actually have better sensitivity than a ham radio, and usually the transmit audio is better. Now, of course, this is an AM and sideband only, so it does not have FM. That would be easy enough to add with an FM board, but so I'll be converting this back into a CB. Not doing any of that today. I just wanted to show the radio. So, and it does work. Yeah, I was surprised. Turned it on, powered it up. Controls are definitely dirty. Like, I thought it didn't have lower sideband for a minute till I wiggled it. It's just the wafer switch is so dirty in this thing that I had to rotate it back and forth a couple times, clean the contacts up a little bit, and was working fine. But, so I have it, just hooked up to a speaker. And you can hear there is a tone. So, channel 1, and what I actually have is turn the volume back down. I had the communications test set up in what's called receive follows transmit mode. There's a little light you can see lit right there. So anytime I key the microphone, what that does is once it locks onto the frequency that the radio is transmitting, when I let go of the push to talk button, it then sets the signal generator's frequency to match it. So, if I change channels, go from, like right now, if I key the microphone, you can see what it's transmitting on. And I release the microphone button, and and you can see it's switched back over to that. And okay. Now if I change channels, so let's say I go to channel 10. And I'm not hearing anything. Oh, there it is. I hope I turned the volume up here. And that's another thing, the squelch. You just barely breathe on this. The squelch is set so far high that it needs to be down the whole way. If you turn it up even like a 20th of a turn, the squelch engages. But, so, actually, let me go to, there's channel 8. They had 402, so let's see what it's actually on. Let me turn the mic gain down here. I'm not feeding audio in modulation. So, it says 402, and it's 401630, so it's pretty close. But, yep, so that's, so it actually does cover. So we'll go to channel 1. Yep, 28312, it's just out of alignment. And if I change to channel 40... Holy shit! Wow, don't want to keep the mic keyed too long. I just happened to notice, did you notice the output power? It's got a dead key of about 8.5 watts. Wow. Final's not too hot. We're definitely going to have to do something about that. Definitely too high. Yeah, the pot's turned full rotation. Much better. Right around 4 watts. Yeah, so it was screwdriver, no doubt about it. 8-watt dead key. Holy shit, people. But in any case, so there you go. There's a nice little JCPenney. Often overlooked. Just a department store radio. Bullshit. It is a uber super high-end cybernet inside. So yes, this is one of the extremely good and very popular. These chassis were used in dozens of different radios by numerous different manufacturers, obviously to include JCPenney. But this is just a PLL02A chassis. It's kind of hard to see the PLL. It's hidden down underneath the channel selector board, but just a PLL02A IC, but the really good Cybernet chassis. Great receive and transmit. These actually broadband rather well. Speak from experience on that. So, if you want a Cybernet chassis that broadbands really good, this is one of them. One of the main reasons is in the factory alignment. These two and these two transformers, okay, the tunable transformers. One transformer set for your, like in a normal 40 channel radio is set, one is adjusted for a peak on channel 1, and the other one is set for a peak on channel 40. So they actually incorporated some high and low adjustments where most radios you kind of have to stagger tune, like in the receive chain in this one, if you were to go back through here, it might adjust this one kind of towards the high end and maybe this one towards the low end, but you really start to lose performance, in the middle then. These radios were designed, now even this you can still only go so far, but still they did incorporate some circuitry that actually helps to broadband it a little bit. So, the hard work's already done. These are just easier to broadband out of the box because they have, the low and high channel adjustments. Now, of course, if you were to do a frequency expansion on this thing for, extra bands of channels, the normal switch mod or stick in a chain, like one of Mark's channel boards, you would not set these to your full highest and lowest channels, because then the middle would just be completely dropped out. But it does allow you to broadband it, so you have a much flatter response for transmit and receive power. But there you go. There's just a nice Cybernet. I think I got this for $30. I think that's all it was. Does have a few extra wires and stuff added, but honestly, none of its frequency. All of the switches are still factory. All of that's still factory. It looks like all of the wiring somebody's added was just lights. They changed this receive. Why is there a red light in the green lens? Well, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, whatever. It's got a green lens, but they stuck a red LED in it. But yeah, somebody installed a LED for the transmit light, so they had to add a dropping resistor. Actually, there's another one here. Looks like they might have stuck one in the meter as well. So, yeah, other than that, that's all they did. This crystal, I can see that's definitely not original. And that is what do we have in there? A 10.390 megahertz. So, yeah, that's definitely not factory. So, basically, the only thing I got to do, now, of course, I'll recap this, but, yeah, basically all I need to do to put this back into which is what I want, is a factory configuration, just straight 40 channel radio, nothing extra, no modifications, other than maybe the clarifier unlock, but other than that, everything, modulation limiters, AMC, ALC, that'll be intact. If they are, have been defeated in this, it looks like the ALCs, actually they look like they're both intact, but, so I just had to pop some crystals in it, recap it, undo some of this. I don't know what somebody was trying to do with the lighting here. I'll probably just put all brand new original light bulbs in it, and then I can get rid of all these damn resistors just bodged on the bottom of the board. Same thing with these wires. But and I have a nice working radio. Like I say, it was cheap. Luckily, I don't have to buy any crystals. I have those crystals already. I bought them at some time, but so I don't have to custom order them. I know I have lots of them for this Cybernet chassis. So there you go. There's just a quick peek inside of a JCPenney 6247. The only real downfall I see with it, there is a little, It depends, and I haven't tried to clean it up yet. It looks like somebody had a sticker. Actually, it's still gooey, so I'm pretty sure I can get that off, actually, in that gunk right there. I guess they had another one of these, the old clicker-style label makers. There's some gunk on there, so I guess they had a sticker across there. I think most of that will clean up pretty good. There is a bend right here that's bent in a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to straighten that out. We'll give her a shot. Might have to soak this and try and get this entire faceplate off if I can. Doesn't look like it was dropped though, because it's not cracked anywhere. But there's a little scratch in the end of the knob there. That isn't a solid aluminum knob. Yeah, it's not like a... actually, they're inserts, but still, you can see it's fairly thick aluminum. But it's not a fake or chrome plated. They're real. They are real aluminum. They just have a plastic insert. And so it's nice to see one that hasn't been screwdrivered too bad. Basically, a ham got his hands on it, turned it into a dedicated 10-meter rig for whatever the hell I said, 28314 to 28754, and I guess that's what it spent probably most of its life as, a 10-meter rig. So there you go. There's just a peek inside the JCPenney 6247.